Max Verstappen has just changed the entire atmosphere of the Formula One world, and he did it with just a few words, after what should have been a regular race weekend in Bahrain. What started as a frustrating sixth-place finish has now turned into one of the most shocking developments of the 2025 season. Verstappen, the four-time world champion, the driver who brought Red Bull Racing to the very top of Formula One, has revealed something that no one saw coming, a secret clause in his contract that could allow him to walk away from Red Bull as early as this summer. Yes, Max Verstappen might be leaving Red Bull before his contract ends, and the motorsport world is in complete shock. Let's go back to how this all started. The Bahrain Grand Prix wasn't supposed to be a major talking point. Red Bull was expected to perform like usual, with Verstappen leading the charge, but things didn't go according to plan. Max started the race from 7th on the grid and only managed to finish 6th. For any other driver, that might not have been a disaster. But for Verstappen, who is used to fighting for victories and podiums, this result felt like a huge failure. The RB21 just wasn't competitive. It didn't have the pace, the grip, or the balance needed to compete at the front, and Verstappen knew it. Throughout the weekend, problems kept piling up for Red Bull. There were mistakes in the pits, overheating brakes, tyre management issues, and a car that just didn't respond the way it should. Verstappen was clearly frustrated, and it all came to a head during the race. In a rare moment of emotion over the team radio, he said, "I can't even brake anymore, it's just ridiculous." For someone who usually keeps calm under pressure, this was a clear sign that something was seriously wrong. It wasn't just about one bad race. It was about a growing problem that has been building behind the scenes. And then came the real shocker. After the race, Verstappen revealed that his long-term contract with Red Bull, which was supposed to keep him with the team until 2028, includes a hidden clause. This clause allows him to leave the team early if he drops out of the top 3 in the championship standings. Right now, he's only 6 points ahead of George Russell, who is in 4th place. That means if Verstappen has another couple of bad races, he could trigger the clause and walk away from Red Bull. This revelation has completely shaken the foundation of Red Bull Racing. Max Verstappen isn't just any driver. He is the heart of the team. He's the one who led them to 4 back-to-back world championships. He's the face of their success, the driver who turned them into the dominant force in Formula One. The idea that he could leave before his contract ends is not just surprising, it's terrifying for Red Bull. The tension within the team is now out in the open. Team principal Christian Horner and motorsport advisor Helmut Marko held emergency meetings after the Bahrain race to figure out what went wrong. Marko admitted that it was a very difficult day for Red Bull and highlighted the serious problems with the car's performance and pit strategy. Red Bull is now in full damage control mode, trying to understand how they went from being unbeatable to being completely off the pace, but the issues go deeper than just one bad race. According to sources close to the team, Verstappen's frustration has been building for months. One of the key turning points was the decision to drop reserve driver Liam Lawson in favor of Yuki Tsunoda. Lawson was seen by many as a rising star and a solid future option for the team. Verstappen reportedly wasn't happy with the decision, and it was Helmut Marko, one of Verstappen's closest allies in the team, who made that call. If Verstappen is starting to lose trust in the leadership around him, then his loyalty to Red Bull could begin to fade. Now the question everyone is asking is, if Verstappen leaves Red Bull, where would he go? There are a few possible options, and each one would change the dynamics of Formula One in a huge way. One of the most obvious destinations would be Mercedes. Team principal Toto Wolff has always been a fan of Verstappen and has spoken publicly about his admiration for the Dutch driver. Mercedes has a strong car, experienced engineers, and a championship-winning culture. While George Russell is currently their lead driver, there's no doubt that they would make room for Verstappen if he became available. Pairing Verstappen with Russell could create a dream team or a potential rivalry that would light up the sport. Another possible destination is Aston Martin. This team has been making big moves lately. They recently signed legendary car designer Adrian Newey and will be powered by Honda engines in 2026, the same engines that Verstappen used to win his 4 world titles. Reuniting with Honda could be a very attractive option for Verstappen, especially if Red Bull continues to struggle with their own power unit development. Plus, working with someone like Newey could give Verstappen the technical edge he needs to continue winning championships. The timing of all of this couldn't be more important. In 2026, Formula One will introduce a new set of power unit regulations. Red Bull is building their own engine, but there are big questions about whether it will be competitive. Mercedes and Honda have a proven track record, and Verstappen may not want to take the risk of sticking with a brand new engine that hasn't been tested under race conditions. He knows that the decisions he makes now could determine whether he stays on top or begins to fall behind. It's also important to look at the emotional side of this situation. Verstappen has been with Red Bull for his entire Formula One career. He made his debut with Toro Rosso, their junior team, and was promoted to Red Bull Racing at just 18 years old. He won his first race with the team and went on to break records, dominate seasons, and become one of the greatest drivers of his generation. Leaving Red Bull would be a massive decision, not just professionally but personally. But the current situation is testing his patience like never before. Red Bull is now under enormous pressure. Not only do they need to fix the performance issues with the RB21, but they also need to convince Verstappen that he's still in the right place. If they fail to do that, they could lose the most important asset they have. And once a driver like Verstappen becomes available, the entire grid will scramble to sign him. It would set off a chain reaction across multiple teams, with drivers being moved, contracts being rewritten, and team strategies being completely reshaped. Looking ahead, the next few races are going to be critical. The Imola Grand Prix is coming up soon, and it could be a turning point. If Red Bull can make improvements to the car and give Verstappen the performance he needs, then maybe they can calm the storm. But if the issues continue, and if Verstappen drops out of the top 3 in the standings, then we could be witnessing the start of one of the biggest driver moves in recent history.